So I'm out in the 400. I'm headed down to an area where Mark and Matt found the deer carcass, and this area actually is a valley that the landowner will not go into by himself. He's heard screams from down here. He has a barn that's about, I don't know, 1,000 yards up this way, and occasionally he hunts from that barn, and he actually had a sighting early in the morning before sunup. It was still dark out, and he watched a figure walk through these woods up here along the edge of them, and he watched it through a night vision scope, and he immediately hightailed it out. He absolutely does not like this valley, and for good reason, possibly. If you watch our video Grunts and Growls in the 400, you will see that there are strange audio anomalies that are happening, and we're missing them in the field. We're not hearing them, but they're coming through clean and clear on the audio. So I am down here today by myself to kind of test a few things that we've been thinking about. We're going to test a couple theories on and within our audio, and a couple of these theories that we're going to test I don't necessarily subscribe to. There's a couple that I am kind of more in the mindset of at this point. So that's my objective today, is to run a few of these experiments, and depending on how it goes, we may show the results, we may not. Kind of depends. If we get the results that we're looking for, then we are going to keep the results to ourselves for a while. If the results are good, we want to be able to show and catalog everything as we do it throughout the process of the testing, and we want it to be repeatable. If it's not repeatable, then there's not going to be much weight to be put on it. So this is where I'm at today. It's a little dreary, but it's still a beautiful day in the Ozarks. It is nice and slippery today. As you can see, everything is wet, and that's okay. But what sucks is all these leaves that you see are pretty much on rock. So you've got wet, slippery leaves with loose rock underneath. You can see this is a nice steep valley. So I'm going to be going down right back over here for a moment, looking at a couple things, and then I'm going to run down this valley. Well, not run, I'm too old for that. But I'm going to walk down this valley, and I'm going to find a nice quiet spot and see if I get any vibes, and if I do, I'm going to stop and just hang out for a while. Run some audio tests and see if we get any results. So the landowner thinks that whatever he is seeing out here that has spooked him runs up and down this valley. And I will say that this valley has a lot of clutter in it, which is not a big deal. But there are quite a few arches up and down through this valley that are very tight. Some of them run back into themselves, which is really, really hard to explain. Of course, we don't know anything definitively, but going from what he says, this is maybe a good spot to run these experiments that we're going to run. So we'll see. So I've came across this little spot here running down this valley, and you can see that this is all compressed and torn up right here. I didn't think much at first as I was walking by, and then as I passed this spot right here, I thought, so you have a nice compression from here to here, and then looks to be another one right here. It's like a big heel plant right there. And I'm not really seeing any more. You can see where something is went along through up here. This is the only spot that's really roughed up for whatever reason. So once again, here to here, it looks like I'm not going to get my tape measure out and measure it because it's just a compression, but I would say that's 13, 14 inches, maybe 15. It's hard to say. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but there's a tapping sound up the hill. I have no idea what that could be. I'm gonna go towards the sound, but I don't want to spook whatever is making it. some tests. The landowner told me that there was nobody else out on his land today. And I hope that the camera audio picked that up. There it goes again. I'm gonna try to slowly make my way right up to the top of that little point. It just gave me away. And the tapping stopped. So I was right down there. This is the little hill I said I was going to come up. And as soon as I got up here, I was given away by the native birds. There it is again. As soon as I topped this hill, that bird started yelping its warning call, and the tapping stopped immediately. It sounded like that tapping was coming, that knocking and tapping was coming from up on that little hilltop right there. This right here is an old four-wheeler trail. And right over there you see it runs up. And those sounds were coming from right up there, that direction. I'm gonna go see what there is to see. I'm gonna make my way back over down into this valley, this draw. Chris Reinhardt from Berkshire Bigfoot makes fun of me because we call these little valleys and hollers draws, and he says that he can't talk like I talk. Ditto, Chris Reinhardt. This is nice and steep and slippery. Alright, so I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to head back through this draw and see what happens. So I'm back down in this draw, and as I said earlier, there's just arches galore down here, and I try not to put too much into structures because, you know, I haven't seen a Sasquatch or Bigfoot, whatever you want to call these creatures. I haven't seen them make these arches. But I will say that there's areas where these arches and these weird structures are more prominent, and some can be explained away, most can be explained away, but not all of them can. So, as you can see, this is a top that has fallen and most likely created all these arches. You know, Mother Nature can do some beautiful stuff. That's pretty amazing. See, we have amongst the arch, and here's another one here that's actually bent, never even broke. So we'll look at this stuff a little closer. This is just super cool. All of these smaller trees all pulled together into these arches. I just caught movement up at the top of that hill. I am facing the opposite direction that you are seeing in the view of the camera. I thought that I saw a figure go from tree to tree up there. Maybe not. Oh. So this is kind of odd. See the two sticks here? Not odd really by itself, but look at this rock. It's like this rock has been beat on or something. See all these white marks? That's broken there. There's actual pieces of rock on top of the leaves, which it should not be. There's some more pieces. There's another one. There's another one. Huh. Look at that. Interesting. Just came from this direction. This is interesting. So I'm going to set the camera up and try a little something just for fun.